Hey, we're Family of Nomads. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Doug.
And we're Family of 5 traveling full-time in our camper. Today we're going to ask each other some questions that people have asked us on our Instagram page. Some of them are personal questions, some of them are our lives living in the camper. So we don't know what the other person is going to ask. So this is all blind reaction to your questions that you've asked us on Instagram. So Vinny Zambuto says, why is it called a fifth wheel? I actually don't know the answer to this question.
So, I'm sure there's technical reasons, but it's called a fifth wheel because it's attached to the frame of a second vehicle, most likely a pickup truck, and it uses the bed as its fifth wheel to tow it around. It was the first camper we had.
That was the question I was going to ask you.
And when did we get it?
Okay, Forest River Arctic Wolf 321BH. We only had that camper for 3 months because when we originally left, we were going to only be traveling for like 1 to 3 months. So after a month of traveling, we decided we liked this enough to do it full time, and so we knew we needed to upgrade our camper. So now we have our current camper. All right, this question, it's a really, really important question. It's from DDBZ123. How many canes did you go through until you found the one?
Like sugar canes, candy canes?
No, like old man canes.
Oh, my old man? I guess I'm still going through them. Haven't found one yet. So is it hard to travel with 3 children? And that is from Charlene Bernard, 1976.
I mean, doing anything with 3 kids is difficult. I mean, you could go to the grocery store with 3 kids and it's difficult. But I will say overall, I feel like our lives in the camper is much more simple and things are easier living in a smaller space. It seems like it would be the opposite, but I feel like we get along a lot better because we address issues when we have them, and I don't know, I just feel like it's better. Would you feel like you agree?
I agree with all of that.
Seal -KR says, how long are you planning to RV for?
We don't have an X amount of years, just until we're either tired of it or want to do something different. If any one of us wants to absolutely stop, then we will reconsider everything and change things up. Colin Schlegel, 13. Where does the poop go?
So underneath the camper, there are 2 different types of tanks. There's a gray tank and a black tank. The black tank is for the sewer. So we actually have 2 black tanks, and they're 45 gallons each, right?
Yes.
Okay. We can hold 90 gallons of fecal matter in our camper, which takes us, like 11 days to fill up both of them.
We eat a lot.
Well, it's anything that comes from the toilet. So like toilet paper, pee, the water that's in the toilet, that sort of thing. So it goes underneath the camper and you hold it there until it fills up, and then you release it into a sewer connection that's underground. So if you're at a campground, there's usually like a sewer connection. It just goes into a sewer. Some gas stations have dump stations. So if you're at a campground that doesn't have a sewer connection, then you dump it there. And so there's just sewer dump stations. So yep. So if you see a camper, they might be driving around with 90 gallons full of sewage, and you may not know. But you can't smell it or anything. Like, no, you don't even know. I mean, I didn't think about where my poop went when I lived in a house. I just knew that I was paying a bill for it every month and was kind of mad about it. But now I'm like, this is so worth the $55 to have somebody else mess with the poop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you come up with your inspiration for funny reels and TikToks?
Who said that one? What's that?
That is Never Stop Adventuring.
Ooh, I like that. So I feel like we both come up with ideas, but when I'm coming up with ideas, I like to think to myself, what is something that I didn't know about this lifestyle that I would have thought was interesting? What do people not know, and how can we share it with them? So
from 4x4 Chick.
No, I like that name.
4x4 Chick.
Okay.
Do you ever
I bet she drives a big truck. Okay.
Probably. Do you ever go off grid? What does off grid mean? Okay,
so going off grid means that you can't be like traced, so you're not hooked up to anything. I'm sure there's lots of different definitions, but that's our specific definition of it. And yes, we do go off grid. So we do have solar on our roof, and we have lithium-ion batteries, and we have basically everything that we need, where if we didn't have any hookups at all, we could continue to go for however much time we wanted to, as long as we had access to get fuel for our generator and pick up water and have a place to dump out our tanks. So, question for you is, 4x4 chick asked another question. She's asking good questions. Okay. What is the scariest part of doing this for you and your family, and how did you overcome it?
The scariest part is just getting started. It's the unknown. I'm more of the habit of being on a schedule, knowing what I'm doing the next day, knowing where I'm going to be at from a week from now. So taking that away from me personally was pretty scary. Just do it. Just see what happens. Go out there. And I've learned very quickly that things change, and it's okay to adapt to it.
So the change.
The change.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like that's a good answer for you. Yeah.
All right. Next question, Sophia. Q1466. What do you miss about your old house?
What do I miss about the whole house? Okay, easy. I really miss having a dining room table. So our couches do have the tables that you can connect and like put the tabletops on, but I really just miss sitting at a kitchen table, like it just being there, and we could just eat dinner around a kitchen table, not just all lined up, just a kitchen table.
I think it might be some of the yard work.
What?
Yes.
Okay, I can see that because you did like doing yard work.
I enjoyed going outside and taking care of the yard. Do I miss it enough to stop traveling? No, I don't. But it was something I enjoyed.
Yeah. What do you do for money? And this is from MGJRJR82.
All right. So what we do for an income is this. This right here. We create videos for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Mm-hmm. So before we left, he was an HVAC tech and I ran a business online. This just kind of fell into our lap and we really, really enjoy it. And so that's what we're doing now. So
Randy P. Finning. Where do you envision yourself 5 years from now?
Ooh, I love questions like this.
I knew you would.
I love questions like this. I like envisioning my future. If you're familiar with an Enneagram, I'm an Enneagram 3, so 3s love this. I envision us maybe like in Mexico traveling, or in Hawaii traveling more long term. We definitely want to see the entire country, like the continental US, but we do have plans to go travel longer term in Hawaii and then maybe even into Mexico. But I feel like once we get to Hawaii, we're probably going to stay there for a little while because I think that we all are going to
we love Hawaii.
Yeah. But we've never actually been all together as a family. So
question from Smile Skiles. What is your number one pro tip for us weekend casual campers?
I would say just go ahead and buy second of everything so your camper is stocked. Like have camper clothes where you don't even have to pack, like, even for your kids, like have camper shoes and, that sort of thing. So the only thing you have to pack is like your food and, you're ready to go. So that way you do it more often, because we get exhausted at the thought of like staying at a hotel, because we have to pack everything up and bring it and then unpack everything, and that just sounds exhausting. So if you take that step out of it, you probably end up camping more often.
That's a great tip.
Thanks.
Yeah, because we were just talking about the other day, staying in a condo, and we were just, both of us was just,
that sounds
we have to carry
horrible.
things up and down the stairs at the condo, and yeah, that's a great tip.
Yeah, it does sound horrible. Okay, this question is from Zig_B. What is the hardest thing about living in a camper full time?
Finding the routes to our next place.
Okay, yeah, you do get stressed out about that.
So I get stressed out over what roads we're going to take. GPS says 4 hours. I know it's going to be 6 or 7 hours with the camper. So that's my hardest part about living full time. What about yours? What's your hardest thing about it?
I feel like for me it's I have FOMO really bad, and so feeling like I'm gonna miss out if we don't go do and see everything in the area that we're visiting. So I think that's the hardest part for me, is trying to fit it all in, and if we leave an area and we're like didn't do everything, I'm like, oh, we missed out. So just addressing the FOMO.
How do you find the best campsites to stay at?
Ooh.
Ayo, a miss.
So we use an app called Compendium, and so you can find campgrounds all over the country, and you can actually read reviews that other people have written about those campgrounds. There are lots of different apps for finding campgrounds, but we like that one the best. So would you recommend buying a new trailer from a dealership or used and fixing it up? This is from Brooklyn Salazars.
Oh, great question.
This is a really good question, especially for you.
Oh, great question. I see it two different sides. I think if you don't know much about campers and you want to get into it, I would buy it new from a dealership. Just because you know everything's there. You have that little ease of mind with whatever warranty issues you may have to encounter. And so, yeah, I think that's what I would recommend. If you're seasonal or you've been camping for a while, absolutely buy an older trailer, fix it up, make it your own, add your own character to it.
Well, I think so. For me, my answer to this question would be I was really concerned about mold. And so if you're buying a camper from somebody else, just like with a house, and especially because campers are more prone to getting mold, you don't know if there's any sort of leaks or anything anywhere. And so that was my biggest concern, and actually the reason why we didn't buy anything used. But also we don't know how to remediate mold and like go through any of that process. So we just had the peace of mind knowing, especially because Addison was sick for so long and mold could re-trigger her pans.
That too, and I forgot about that part. So
yeah,
that was a huge reason why we went new. Bailey B. Jorland.
Okay.
Transitioning to full-time RV living. Best advice.
Things are gonna go wrong, and just like you have to make a decision ahead of time that you're not gonna let it frustrate you, because that's how things go down the toilet. The black tank got clogged up, and there are like all this other stuff, and like we're trying to leave and it's pouring down rain, and we're trying to unclog a black tank in the middle of the pouring down rain, which actually is something that happened. And
kids left the bathroom sink on all night.
Yes, and the gray tank was closed, and so it flooded the bunk room. This was all in our first camper when we had no idea what we were doing. You have to laugh about things. So sometimes we'll look at each other and we'll be like, ha 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 ha. Like I literally say that to him, and then he'll start laughing, or if I'm feeling frustrated, he'll do the same thing to me. So and then we get like a reminder of, hey, we made this promise to each other that we're gonna laugh about whatever thing that happens. And so we just are like, you have to go into it with as with anything, you have to go into it with a good attitude. This is the question somebody specifically asked to you.
Okay.
It says, hey Dub, this is from Lee Terrence. Okay. How does Dub like the Ford, and is this his first time with a dually diesel?
Ooh.
Yeah. They don't want to know what I think about it. I have no opinion, so.
I love it. It's my first Ford. It's a dually diesel 6.7 liter, and it is a lot of truck. It has no problem pulling the camper.
One thing I do like about the truck, it has nothing to do with the gas or anything, or the diesel, but the back of the truck where the kids sit has more space in it than they did in our crossover. We had a GMC Acadia, and the kids have more legroom. I have more space in the truck.
There's a lot of cab space in the truck. Last question for me?
Yeah, last question for you. All right, this is from M_Brink. Okay. Curious as to about how many outfits everyone has.
33.
That is not true. You still have clothes that have tags on them that you brought with you from our house, and they still have tags on them, and you will not get rid of them.
All right, so 4.
No, you have just about the same amount of clothes.
Okay, I wear 3 different outfits.
Yes.
We all have 5 or 6 different outfits for warmer weather, cooler weather. With having a washer and a dryer, here on board, we can do laundry every day. We rotate our clothes, as it gets cooler outside. So
there's no emotional connection to clothes now.
our clothes.
But I do feel like I know that we all have more than 5 outfits. We can all go about 10 days without washing clothes, but they do have clothes that they will wear if we, don't have hookups and we can't run the washer and dryer, and, we're not close to a laundromat or something. Yeah.
There we go.
So if you guys have questions that we did not answer during this video, go ahead and feel free to comment with your questions here in the comments of this YouTube video, and we will answer your questions in another video. We also plan to do a ton more vlog style videos where we just kind of show you guys what we're doing in our everyday lives. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell to make sure that you don't miss out when we do post a new video.
So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.